right, hey, hi. I'm gonna do something a little different here. I get asked this question a lot. How do I get my screenshots? How do I take my photos for my thumbnails? So I just want to share what I do here. I got a slideshow going of some shots I have taken. I really love taking photos in the sim. I use JRT or Joe real timing to take my photos. It takes some amazing shots. It's super easy to use. I love it for a dashboard. I'll probably do a video sometime in the future about showing off my dashboard, what I see when I race and how it helps me. But I really love taking these screenshots. I've been asked a few times, like I said. So I just want to put this out there. You see here, got a lot of motion blur and stuff going on, but the car's still in sharp focus, and JRT makes that happen. So I'm going to jump out of this here and kind of jump right into it. Just close that. First things first, I do race on triples. What I actually like to do is I actually have a couple INI and render DX11 files for certain things. So when I'm racing, I have my triples app INI and render DX11 monitor. I copy paste that and throw it into my iRacing folder. When I want to take photos, I take the singles or a single monitor and use that. One thing in the render DX11 is compressed car textures. I turn that off when I'm doing screenshots, but I'm only running it on a single monitor, which is, I think makes it look a lot cleaner on the cars themselves, a lot sharper lines. But basically, when I'm ready to take screenshots and I'm done with the race, I'll save my replay, jump out, copy my app INI and DX11 file for a single monitor use, and then just kind of copy paste that right over into the iRacing folder. Copy paste, replace these files. Once I do that, I'm going to kind of pick my replay. We did a let's see here, which replay should I grab? I had a pretty fun race at Okayama in the Clio Cup. Let's launch that replay. It's a 15-minute race, so it should load a little bit quicker. So while this loads, JRT is a timing software. Let me kind of pull up their website here. I've used it for years. I mean, like, I can't remember a time being on iRacing and not using JRT. Mike Ellis from the iRacers Lounge podcast turned me on to it, and I won't race without it. But they do have a pretty cool photo mode. As far as like the cost of JRT, it's $30. You buy it for a year and you get full upgrades throughout the year. And then for $12, or it's euros, so whatever the conversion is, that extends it another year. You just give them your driver ID, buy it, you download it, you're good to go. In fact, I better boot up JRT while this is booting up, because you got to have it running when you're taking photos. So should be up and running here in any moment. Just trying to fill time while this loads. All right, so we're in the sim. JRT's running. JRT has pages. This is actually the timing page I use in my broadcast or my recordings now. I gotta change a little bit on it, but when you go to the web page that shows it, it has this photo mode here. So I'm gonna set this aside real quick. Now that I have JRT open in the photo mode, I'm gonna set it aside and then try to get the shot I'm after. I like to start chase cam and try to find a moment. Let's get right into the race here. Race right off the line. I'm gonna fast forward here. It gets a little spicy here with me and this 5 car down the back stretch. And we got him going wide here. Let's grab, I kind of want to get this moment right here. So right here, I like to go to the rear chase and modify that camera. But once you're here in the sim, just control F12, and this is the camera tool. There's a lot of videos out there on the camera tool. I think Nebon has one. I'll maybe put that in the description of the video. Pretty straightforward here. You're going to basically just use the camera tool to get the shot you want. The angle, how high, how low. You can adjust some of the exposure, I believe, as well, now that the lighting kind of gets a little off. But basically what you want to do is you want to leave the camera at the car. If you use a TV camera, the car moves within the frame, and the way it works, that makes the car look a little fuzzy. So you want to get the camera on the car. I think this shot kind of shows all the drama behind me, but this shot shows how close we're racing. So I'm going to kind of get that angle, going the wrong way. Get that angle there. I like to take my shots kind of down low. You can take them up high. For this one, actually, let's take it up high. Then I'm going to zoom in a little bit, but you're going to have vanish X and Y, which is going to kind of adjust, obviously, left and right for X, Y to the sky, if you remember that from school. But I kind of like that shot there. You don't want to get things too tight to the edge on either side. And the reason why is when you're in JRT, it has an option to hide iRacing watermark. When you try to hide that iRacing watermark, it widens past your monitor. It works really well, but it kind of takes the image and kind of skews it a little bit. So sometimes it takes a try or two. But essentially what I'm going to do here is I got my shot lined up. Everything looks good. And then I'm just going to hit shutter speed. The bigger the fraction, so 1/4, 1/8, 1/10, that is how long the shutter's open for. The longer it's open, the more motion blur you get. With that many cars in the background, I don't want them to be too fuzzy, so I'm going to say like 1/63. I have my resolution 1920 by 1080. Now I have 4 monitors. One's over to the left on my desk. I have the coordinates 1920 by 0. So that's working on my left monitor on my rig, not the one to the far left on the desk. A lot of these I don't really mess with. I just pretty much hide the watermark. So I got that. Now I'm just going to hit take photos. So what it's going to do is it's going to run here. It's going to go slow-mo, and there it goes. It's converting the image now, and you get a preview shot. And this just makes sure you align it properly. I kind of want my car a little bit more to the left. So I'm going to hit A for abort. Go back to iRacing, adjust my vanish Y. Sorry, my vanish X. Get my car a little more center of the shot. Alt tab back to my browser and JRT and take the photo again. So I think that looks a little bit better there. So like I said, it's going to run. It's going to kind of line up the shot, get things prepped. Then it's going to show you those images, overlay them. If you're happy with it, C for continue. That's going to take the shot. So you can see here, you get a pretty clean shot. There's some motion blur on the curbing, not too much on the cars. My car is going to be in perfect focus because it's the car in focus. But that's kind of how that looks there. And then if I like it, I'm going to hit S to save. If I don't like it, A to abort and adjust. Just for reference, I'm going to take that again at a 125 shutter speed. Take photo. And you'll see here, it's going to overlay more and more image to get a more intense motion blur. Because we're in a tight pack, the camera's focused on me. My car should stay fine as long as I don't hit any like major bumps or anything that affects the suspension. But the other cars are likely going to be a little more blurry. So you see right there, more blur on the inside, more blur on the cars. My car is still fairly sharp, or actually it's very sharp right now. So all that good, I'm going to save that and we'll compare those side by side. But we're going to exit that. Now, if you're in an accident or if you have a lot of suspension movement and the car's dipping or diving and you just can't get what you want with it being blurry, you can use an on-car camera like the suspension and adjust it. So I'm going to kind of adjust the camera angle via the suspension, and it works a little different. Again, if you kind of find a what's the word I'm looking for here, a video guide on the camera tool, that'll be super helpful. We're gonna take the shot at a different angle, but kind of the same concept. We got the camera lined up, we have the car in shot where we want it, give or take a little bit. I am gonna go back to 136 for this photo and take photo. It's gonna run in the background. Obviously my face is covering part of the car, but it's going to do that. It's going to grab it. It's going to overlay it. And I like the angle. The car's positioned in the picture nicely. Continue or C. That takes the photo. And now I got a nice clean shot. Car looks good and sharp. We have a lot of good motion blur, and we can see all the action in the background. And like that would be, I think, a great thumbnail, especially if I wanted to look like I was winning, because nobody can see the 4 cars ahead of me kicking my ass. But we're gonna save that, and that's it there. A to exit. I'm gonna minimize that. I'll quit out of the sim here real quick. The nice thing is all your photos go to a file under Documents, Gel Real Timing Photo, and you'll have all your shots right there ready to go for you. That's the main shot there. I'm probably gonna use that for the thumbnail of this video. That is the other shot. You can see the cars are a little blurrier because we had a longer shutter time, and then obviously this one, the cars are a lot cleaner because the shutter will open and close a lot quicker. So hopefully that's helpful. I do love taking these photos. Like I said, we got Nico here in the Clio, did a lot of Clio racing. Justin in the Clio, a lot of Clio racing. A shot like this, I actually believe that Nico was the primary car of focus. And I just had to use a really small shutter speed because we were all driving at different speeds, minute, but you have to kind of play with it. It's not too bad once you kind of get the concept. CR2 Racing, I was practicing some screenshots for him. Some throwback paint schemes for a league. So, but yeah, no, that's kind of how I do all my photos. Hopefully that's helpful. JRT, it is a paid software, but it's definitely worth it. And it takes some phenomenal photos just for that reason alone. So hopefully that's helpful. If you like this kind of content, let me know. Like the video, comment if there's anything else you want me to show you as far as like JRT goes, and subscribe to the channel. Hope you have a great day.